There's nothing in particular. Okay,
A really interesting conversation started here yesterday, and it was to do with one of our regulars who spoke about no matter what she's doing, and she's quite, she just, her movements are in there and everything, and she was saying that she's finding that her energy levels are becoming impossible, no matter, and like sleeping, experiencing pain, stuff like she's not experienced before. So I don't know. And I had like a 20-minute conversation with her. She really, really appreciated it. So I don't know if you may want to cover that.
Okay, all right. Anyway, we'll begin. So, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I thought I would kind of continue the theme that I started last week, which was just putting some basic understandings in place in order to deal with what I feel is just a general sense of instability that is everywhere. Yeah, the whole political system, health system, you think about it, it's the whole thing is not what it was 2 years ago. And it is going to keep going on and on and on. And anyone who's been listening to what we've been doing for the last maybe 4 or 5 years is just letting you know it's hit the fan. It's here now. And this is a traumatic, it's like COVID. And that's the best example I can give you. That during the COVID pressures on people, we decided that we would have a meditation 3 times a week. And people joined in online. And the idea was to help individuals navigate that intense pressure and to be able to come out the other side. And what we found later on, obviously post-COVID and lockdowns, is those individuals that continued with the meditation seem to be dealing with life a lot easier than those people who hadn't. And that's only because of the people we see every day and the kind of work that we do. So this post-transformational trauma has to be navigated, You can't change it. Your entire worldview is now popping up. It's what I've been talking about last year. The whole worldview, how you see the world, how you see yourself, and how you behave and what you know of yourself, all of that is going out. Doesn't matter what it is, it's going out. Whether it's religion, whether it's race, whether it's the whole thing is just popping. Why? Because our understanding of who and what we are has been so distorted by religions, by cultures, by social systems, by governments, that you have absolutely no idea. You have no idea who you are. You have no idea where you've come from. And you certainly have no idea of death and dying. And this is the reality. So these questions, which seem a little bit heavy, are now becoming more and more relevant. Why? Because everything that you hold on to is starting to fall apart. The systems are falling. Where you could get a doctor's appointment in an hour or two, now you have to wait days. What that means is you have to learn how to look after yourself. Can't rely on others anymore. Can't rely on anyone else anymore. And now this is where really the crux of our understanding is. The way we are taught, so I'm going to use psychology or psychiatry, doesn't matter. Most of it can be kind of fitted into a particular space, which basically means trying to alter the way you behave, think, and see yourself, right? So you have 4 distinct ways of doing that. These are called the 4 schools of psychology. This is what all mental health stuff is out there. None of them can tell you what the mind is. All of them deal with the symptoms. All of them. Whether it's, so for example, anxiety now is a big issue. Why? Because no one's educated you on how the mind operates. Simple. And once you begin to understand this, so what is anxiety? Anxiety is when we are focused on a future that isn't here yet. That's all it is. The more you think about the future, the more anxious you become. Anxiety is a feedback mechanism. It's telling you something. It's telling you, hey, hold on, something needs to change. And that could be your life, that could be your lifestyle, that could be what you're doing, that could be the fact that um, your way of life is in jeopardy, but you're not seeing it. It's telling you something. And what we've been educated on now, certainly over the last few years, is that you don't listen to it, you shut down. You find a drug to put it down, to suppress it, not to transform it, to suppress it. So you have a sting, which I give this example often, in your hand, and you have that pain. That pain is a feedback mechanism telling you to take the sting out. Rather than taking the sting out, all we're doing is just putting a numbing cream on it. The sting remains there. And what is that sting? That sting is the wrong assumption of who and what you think you are. And I can demonstrate it so easily. If you were born in an African village, you'd call yourself African. Your language would be that of the local native community, your lifestyle. But in reality, it's only conditioning. And if you were to be taken out of that and brought into you'd be educated in a different way. And I speak that from experience, having been educated in different parts of the world. And all it is changing what you think. And changing what you think doesn't change you. All you're doing is rearranging the furniture in a room. And that room is your identity, if that makes sense. So, what we need to learn is to step out of the room. And this is where meditation begins. This identity is always on self preservation. It's on default mode. Yeah, it's always looking after itself, always. Has to. Part of evolution. So when things don't go its way, it gets angry. Anger is simply a response to things that aren't going the way you wish them to go. Can be justified or not justified, makes no difference. Anxiety is holding on to a future or trying to control a future knowing you can't do it. And depression is basically something that you're holding on from the back, something in the past. But the reality is, what's holding on? Is it your arm? Is it your hand? Is it your leg? No, it's this identity. He did this to me or she did that to me. Do you really think it'll matter when you take your last breath? Will it really matter? And this is what we are now coming to, the sacredness of life. And meditation is simply going to introduce you to that. And after this, you have to embody it. You have to do it every day. You have to become part and parcel of it. So you come out of this repetitive pattern. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And you will find symptoms begin to disappear. And this is how meditation works. As long as you're not focused on your story about what's going to happen to you tomorrow, you won't get anxious. Doesn't mean you don't plan, but you don't live in it. And likewise, as long as you're not harboring who did this and why did they do this and why did this happen to me, you ain't going to be depressed. You're not going to get resentful. Stop judging yourself, less self-criticism. These are the things that are now important. Not because you want to become all, a particular lifestyle. It's because of your health. Why? Because the mind is connected to your body. That's the crux of it. So when you get anxious or when you get angry, There's about maybe 120 different changes that go on in you instantly. Instantly. Heart rate, heartbeat, adrenaline, cortisol, heart frequency, heart arrhythmia. Every time you have an emotion, the heart rate changes. Every time you live in anger, heart rate changes. If you live in anxiety, heart rate changes. This stuff changes the body. And then these changes in the body manifest once you add the wrong foods to them, the wrong chemicals and nutrients, become your diabetes, become your cancers. So the mind is where the health begins. And to keep the mind and the body separate is primitive. It's primitive, it's outdated. But it makes the financial drug company work well. I'm not saying all medicine is wrong, but what I'm saying is anxiety, stress, disorders, these disorders can't be addressed with medicine. They need to be addressed with your own understanding. Only you can sort yourself out. No one else can. But they can show you how. But not by suppressing you, not by drugging you, not by making you anything special, but just saying, hey, step out of this, have a look at this. And you'll see that you're banging your head against the wall. And you say, well, that's not very hard. And you learn. It's a self-realization process. It's not about becoming enlightened. It's becoming regulated, being able to regulate yourself. And if you were to look at any tradition, particularly in the East, samurai, Nihang, ninja, any of the warriors, you will find meditation is critical. Critical. Regulation. Irrespective of what you're in, what the battle is, you're regulated. You are contained in yourself. You're not acting out of anger or fear, but you're regulated. Hence, it's been a very critical part of health and well-being, but more important, also self-preservation. Hence, meditation isn't just about anxiety, stress, and depression. Those, these are side effects. This is just what the mind does. It's the way it works. It's like you get hungry. The hunger is telling you, go and get some food. The same is with your mind. If it's anxious, it's telling you what you're anxious about. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're ill. And I think those kind of understandings are now going to become more and more relevant. Why? Because we need to, that is the reality. It's not a new thinking, it is the reality. And secondly, the traditional way of working with this stuff ain't working anymore. It isn't. Because if we've done so much research, how come mental health has increased so much? How come? If you've got so many different therapies, how come? Does it make sense? Because they ain't working. It can't. You can't fix the symptoms and think that the cause has gone away. Can't do it. You can't numb a finger because it's got a sting in it and say, oh, the sting's not there. That's the difference. And this is where, particularly my work, is based on. The fifth force, looking outside this, based on evidence of 30 years, not just a few days. So understanding that there is a way of human health, transformation, and getting a handle on your life without anything else but just a little bit of understanding and practice. Not believing in anything, not believing in anyone, but doing it for yourself. And that's where we're going, self-empowerment. Can't rely on anyone else. If you're anxious and you can't get to the doctor, you've got to deal with it. So how do you deal with it? No? Similar with a headache or whatever. And you can't get, you've got to deal with it. And I think we are coming to that and saying, how can we look after ourselves? Because ultimately, the health is always in our own hands. And so how we look after ourselves depends on what we know about ourselves. And if we're relying on others to fix us, I'm afraid, my friends, you're going to be disappointed. Yeah, because no one can be you. No one knows what's wrong with you. Only you know. And there's never anything wrong with you. It's just misalignment. It's just coming back to the same point. And that doesn't take long. Yeah. 3 or 4 weeks of constant meditation, you begin to align. Okay, kick off. So, as usual, we always begin with our posture. But today I'm going to add a slightly different process because I feel it's necessary as well. Okay, so feet flat on the ground if you're sitting on a chair, back is straight and upright, shoulders, you want to hunch them slightly and then drop them so they're not hunched. And you pull them back a little bit. Okay, notice that your eyes are closed and notice that your mouth is closed. And then you're going to bring your chin in slightly. So your posture should be upright. It shouldn't be too rigid. And then as your next breath comes in, you're going to bring your focus to yourself as best as you can. And you're going to start noticing yourself. You're going to notice the way you're thinking, the way you're sitting. Notice your body if you can. And see if there's anything in the body itself that draws your focus. So this could be a pain or some tightness or a stitch, an ache. And you're going to remain alert. It's easy to fall asleep. You're going to remain alert. And what that means is you're going to deliberately look for things. And now you're going to make a commitment to yourself that for the next few minutes, you're simply going to focus on yourself. Nothing else matters. And in order to notice what's going on with you, you're going to bring your focus first towards your eyes. And begin to notice what you have awareness of. So this could be darkness, could be the back of your eyelids, a color, but there is awareness. Now, if you bring your focus towards your ears and just begin to listen, not listening for anything or to anything, but just listening. So allow any sound that's around you to come to you. So you're like a receiver. Listening. Next, you're going to bring your focus beneath your nose. And you begin to notice that the breath moves in and the breath moves out. And all you want to do at this stage is simply watch the in breath. And what that means is you notice where it begins and where it ends, and the out breath. Start, middle, end. And you allow your breath to breathe by itself. Stay with your breath. On your next breath in, you're going to bring your focus now towards your mouth and notice if there's a taste within your mouth. You're going to notice if your tongue is firm or if it's soft, and you're going to soften it. You're going to soften your jaw. And now moving your focus just above your head, imagine there's a hula hoop, and as this hoop comes down, it begins to scan your body for sensations. All the way down. On your next breath in, you're going to bring your focus to your body as best as you can. And again, you're going to notice if there's anything in your body that draws your focus. And now we're going to move to a thorough body scan. So you move your focus now to the sensations where your chair makes contact with your body, or your seat makes contact with your body. Move your focus to those sensations. And then slowly bring this focus up towards your hips. And now you're going to scan your thighs, moving down from the top towards your hips, towards your knees. And then moving from your knees, scanning the back and the front of your legs, looking for anything that draws your focus, a pain, an ache, a tightness, an itch. And then notice your feet. Do they feel tense? Allow them to soften. And then moving your focus to the soles of your feet. And you're going to hold your focus there for a short while if you can. Next breath in, come back to the seat you're on. Again, allow it to hold you so you can relax. You're not going to go anywhere. Notice that your back is straight. And you're going to bring your focus from your lower back to the middle back. From your middle back, you're going to move up towards your shoulder blades. Notice your shoulders. And then moving your focus from your shoulders down to your elbows. From your elbows, you move down towards your wrists. Notice the palms of your hands. And then the fingers on your hands. Next breath in, you come back to your eyes again. And again, notice what you have awareness of, what's in front of you. Recognizing that there is this awareness which can't be switched off, always present. And at this moment, it is present to what's in front of it. And then as you breathe out, you allow your eyes to soften. And then moving your focus towards your lips. Scanning your upper lip. Scanning your lower lip. And then gently moving your focus within your mouth. Notice the roof of your mouth. The inside cheeks. Bringing your focus to your tongue. Allowing it to soften. Allowing your jaw to soften. And then as you breathe out, you allow your face to soften. Next breath in, once again, become aware of your body as best as you can. And now notice your posture. When you're ready, you bring your focus beneath your nose and again begin to watch your breath. Let the breath breathe as it wants to. And now we're going to start regulating our breath. And what that means is you're going to take a slightly deeper breath in. And as the breath leaves out, allow the breath to escape by itself. Slightly deeper breath in. And allowing the breath to escape itself. The out breath is longer than the in breath. And you're going to let the out breath go all the way out. Follow that pattern. And now letting your breath breathe the way it wants to breathe. Your focus is beneath your nose. And you notice the in breath as it moves in, and you notice the out breath as it moves out. Nothing more than that. Notice how you're breathing now. Does your breath feel shorter? Next breath in, you're going to bring your focus within yourself. And here we're talking about how you're feeling and what's on your mind at the moment, if anything. Notice your chest. Notice the movement of your chest. Stay with the movement of your chest as the breath moves in, as the breath moves out. Allowing the breath to breathe by itself. All you're doing is just watching your chest. Notice there are little sensations around your ribs as the breath moves in and the breath moves out. And now if you draw your focus a bit deeper into yourself, right where your heart is. And you want to just hold your focus there as best as you can. And begin to notice how you're actually feeling right now. Acknowledging how you're feeling. If you feel calm, peaceful, grounded, present, Choose a simple word. Settled, unsettled. On your next breath out, you're going to open your focus to all the sounds around you once again. Begin to listen. And we're going to use the sound of the bell to move our focus deeper into the silence. Gently bringing your focus beneath your nose, sitting with your breath in silence. On your next breath out, expand your focus to include your whole body once again. Notice if there's any discomfort in the body itself. Bringing your focus now to the seat you're on. Notice the sensations where the body makes contact. And then slowly bringing your focus to your hips. Gently moving down your thighs towards your knees, slowly bringing our awareness back in the body. And then from your knees, allowing this awareness to move down towards your ankles. Notice your feet. And then moving to the soles of your feet. Coming back to the seat you're on. Again, notice you're held in place. Your back is still straight, upright. Your shoulders, your arms comfortable. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Once again, coming back to your breath. And now, as the breath moves in, we can sense our body. When the breath moves out, we can sense our body. Notice how you feel within yourself. And see if you can notice the change from when you began to where you are now. Choosing a word to acknowledge. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw some slow, deep breaths in, and then in your own good time, gently opening your eyes. Take your time.